Hey, how are you guys? Doing good. Welcome back to the Mr. Hydration Friday Fightcast. I know it's been a while. But you know what? Shit happens. This is actually the first Friday I've had off in a while. And by off, I mean like in terms of not having a gig or going to a festival or something, which I was supposed to go to a festival. I got pain on my hands. I've been working all day. But yeah, I was supposed to go to a festival, but luckily I didn't. Luckily, I didn't. But here I am again on the Friday Fightcast, the Mr. Hydration Friday Fightcast, my home. Well, actually, my baby is Wednesday, Performance Wednesday, but I also love the Friday Fightcast. I think it came Performance Wednesday, Friday Fightcast, the Monday weekend recap, and then I came up with the Sunday Fun Day. I haven't done Sunday Fun Day in a while. I haven't really been consistent with doing these in a while, but that's because I've been so busy and I'm super fucking lucky. I really am. So today we're going to talk about some interesting things. I'd love you guys' opinion on the Jake Paul versus Ben Askren fight. Super excited about that one because there's so many variables. Obviously, Jake Paul is like a novice YouTube boxer who hasn't really fought anyone worth fighting. And then Ben Askren wasn't really known for being a striker, but I mean he's been doing MMA for the past 10 years, so it's a very very intriguing matchup. Also, we got Whitaker versus Kelvin Gastelum, which is surprisingly going under the radar. I don't think that should be a fight that goes under the radar. That's the UFC fight card this tomorrow. And tonight, we have the Bellator fights. That's Vadim Namco versus Phil Davis 2. All these we're going to be talking about. Obviously, I want to hear about what you have to say, what your opinions are on these fights. If you have anything you want to tell me, make sure to do it in the comment section of the Mr. Hydration page. I can't see any of the comments that are on my personal page. So if you want to interact live in real time, do me a favor, comment on the Mr. Hydration stream. I'm not going to see it on my actual Facebook page. For some reason, it doesn't like to connect. I don't know why. That's just how it is. But first, I want to give out a shout out to some sponsors. Obviously, I don't get paid by these people. These are people that I really, really, really enjoy, really, really want to promote on myself. So, no, these fights are coming up, Christy. They're coming up. So the Jake Paul versus Ben Askren fight is coming up tomorrow. The Whitaker versus Kelvin Gastelum fight is tomorrow, and tonight are the Bellator fights. So you didn't miss anything. It's okay. I just haven't been around for a while, so my bad. But I do want to give a shout out to DJ Slim. Make sure if you want any of your entertainment needs met, whether it's a wedding, a birthday party, a bar, or a bar mitzvah, you call up DJ Slim at 815-257-2601. Another person I want to give a shout out to is Kevin Kililea. Huge fan of the local scene, huge supporter of the local scene. He's actually the guy that took this picture right here. This is at a festival. Huge fan of his, great person, and he's very reasonable with his prices. So make sure you look him up on Facebook, K Squared Imagery. That is the letter K followed by the word squared space imagery. K Squared Imagery. Great guy. Also, I want to give a shout out to Sup Marf. That's SUPMARF. That's one word. Sup Marf Studios. He records music. He's amazing, an amazing engineer, and he also records music videos. He's actually the guy that shot my superhero music video. If you want to look that up, look it up on YouTube. Superhero Victor Raul. You'll see it. It's a really good music video. Oh, see, now I don't feel bad either. See, I'm not the only one who hasn't been around. I've been busy. I've been super busy on these Fridays, which is, I'm actually thinking about starting to do these in the morning. That way I don't have to worry about doing these in the evening, because evening is when I have to go perform. The evenings are when I have to go to these festivals and be there and obviously network and mingle and perform. So I'm actually thinking about doing these in the morning. But anyway, I want to get back to Sup Marf. Make sure you look him up on YouTube. Sup Marf Studios, SUPMARF. Great guy, and he's on YouTube. And make sure you look up my music video. I'm trying to get that up. I'm trying to get those views up. Also, I want to give a shout out to Skydive the Falls. Yeah, we're going to be doing Skydive the Falls Fest 3.0 this year. Yeah, my hands are littered with paint, I know. But 3.0 this year, that's over in the Niagara Falls area. You get a nice scenic route on the way up to the top, and then you're going to jump out of a plane. It's going to be a beautiful time. You get to camp with people. You get to hang out with people. You might even see Christy there. It's a really, really beautiful time. I suggest going. If you're going to go camping, if you're going to go have a great time, if you haven't spent that stimulus money yet, make sure you go to Skydive the Falls Fest 3.0. Look them up on Facebook, Skydive the Falls. Skydive space the space falls. All right. Great set of people. I also want to give a shout out to the Hard Rock Radio Network, HRRNrocks.com. They're a great radio station. They usually do their broadcasts Saturdays at 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. A great group of people. They're awesome to be around, and they're great to listen to. You know, they're the people that I started my podcasting endeavors with. They're the reason that I came around and even thought about becoming a personality. I was an entertainer. They interviewed me. They liked my personality. They kept me coming around because I'm pretty good at it. And yeah, I just want to give them a shout out. They're really awesome people. Make sure you call them too at 815-495-5070 so you can interact with them in real time during their broadcast. That's 7 p.m. on the weekends. It's called the Weekend Work Release Program, and it's at HRRNrocks.com. There we go. Danimal roars. Smoke weed, eat snacks, repeat. I dig it. Oh yeah, Daniel's a man as well. Great dude. I would consider him an agricultural aficionado. Ooh, I hope you like that one, Daniel. That was off the top of my head. And I feel like I have more people to give a shout out to, but I cannot remember for the life of me who else. And I feel bad because I usually write these. Oh, you know what? No, I actually just reformatted my computer, so I don't even have any of my old notes. Okay, I got DJ Slim. Oh yeah, Phoenix Fest. So I just went to the Spring Fling. That's actually where I got this right here. It even says, I don't know if you can see it because of light. Spring Fling. Beautiful festival full of beautiful people. It was amazing there. But anyway, Phoenix Fest is going to be at Tawtree Lake in Vienna, Illinois. That is July 23rd through the 25th. Please go there. Go out, have a good time. Enjoy yourself around a bunch of people that are just out there and have a good time. And it's family fun, so bring your kids. It's a great time. Okay. And I think that's everybody. I think that's everything I had to give a shout. Oh, yeah. Of course. Make sure you're drinking your water. Always drink your water. I've been going on runs lately. Ooh, do not shut off. My wires are so sensitive right now. I need to get a new ring light. I got a broken one. I didn't stay on the stand anymore, and now the wires are all shorted out and all that shit. So it's like I gotta be super sensitive with all these wires. You know, I can't be doing it. Hey, what up, Cody? Stay hydrated. Full show. Whoop, whoop. But anyway, yeah, I gotta be super careful about where I put my stuff down because if I put it down on a wire, then it's gonna short and the light's gonna go out. And then what? Then I'm in the dark. I don't want to be in the dark during these broadcasts. Not at all. All right. So I need you guys' opinions on the Jake Paul versus Ben Askren fight card. And by fight card, I mean the Jake Paul versus Ben Askren fight. Because you know what? I looked up the other fighters. The only other fighter that I know on here is Frank Mir. Let's see what the lineup is. So it's going to start with Joe Fournier versus Ray Khan, El Líder. You know what? I have to make predictions. So just because El Líder is in Spanish, I'm going to go with Ray Khan. Then Steve Cunningham versus Frank Mir. Actually, Steve Cunningham's a legit boxer. That dude's for real. Frank Mir was a very, very long time, very, very accomplished long time MMA veteran. Huge fan of his, but he has a tendency to get knocked out in terrible fashion. And he's coming over here to face Steve Cunningham, who has a lot of skill. So I'm going to go with Steve Cunningham on that one. Ivan Redkach, the Killer, versus Regis Prograis. You know, I actually listened to Regis's interview yesterday. I'm going to go Regis on that one. And then obviously the main card. I think Ben, if he stays physical with Jake Paul, I agree with you 100%, man, 100%. Because Ben's been in there with killers, man. You know, he knows how to move. He knows how to get in there, in and out of situations. Obviously, he's a grappler primarily, so he's using a striking to get to people, to grab onto them, to take them to the ground. But, man, if he just bullies them around and gets them in there, I think he takes it too. I agree with you. What do the rest of you guys think? What is your opinion on the Ben Askren versus Jake Paul? I'm a huge fan of Ben Askren. I have been. even after he got that devastating knockout from Jorge Masvidal. I think he's a fun character to listen to. He's very insightful. The dude's very well educated and super well spoken. A great person all around. I think I really really dig his energy. Jake Paul, however, is the opposite of that, but that's kind of his character. I don't know if it's real or not. I'm still unsure if it's a facade. It seems like it's a facade. It seems like he's not really genuinely like that all the time. You know, when he goes home and he's hanging out with his friends and his brother, I feel like he's more of a chill guy. I think once the cameras come on, he puts on this character. And I don't know, man. There's a whole lot of insecurities about him, even just like when in the face-offs. Uh, one of my favorite ones is when Ben Askren he palmed him in the face, and then Jake didn't know what to do, so he slapped him on the belly. So, like, you're getting ready to fight this guy, and that's what you do when someone face palms you. Not a good look. Not a good look. Jake Paul's got power. He's young. He's fit. He's athletic. Ben Askren's got Father Time on his side, which isn't all that great. He just had a hip surgery, literally just had a hip surgery, and he's super accomplished, man. I mean, he was an Olympian. The dude went on to win an insane amount of wrestling awards. So I mean, you know what? I'm gonna go with Ben Askren on this one. I'm a huge fan of fan. I keep on saying fan instead of fan. I think it's because fan and Ben, you know, fan, ban. That's dumb. But I'm gonna go with Ben Askren on this one. I think he's gonna get like Cody Baker said. I think he's gonna be super physical with him the whole time, the entirety of the fight. I think he's gonna be in his face. I think he's gonna be bullying him, pushing him. I don't think Jake Paul's gonna know what to do. He's gonna throw a lot of heat. He's gonna get winded, tired. They say they want to finish him in 2 rounds, and I think the reason they want to finish him in 2 rounds is because he only has 2 rounds of power in him. I think that's where he needs to be. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to predict this. I predict that if Ben wins, it is because Jake Paul refuses to get off the stool. I don't know what round. I'm assuming somewhere in the 5th, maybe the 6th. But I think that's how Ben Askren wins. I don't think Ben Askren knocks him out. I think Jake Paul gets afraid. I think he quits on the stool. That's what I think. That's my personal opinion. Don't fucking hate me for it, but that's what I think. That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna go. All right, to the real fights. Dude, I can't answer right now. Josh, bro, I'm on a live stream, man. All right. Let's go with the fight cards. The fight card tomorrow on the UFC fights. All right. The real stuff, the real fighters, the guys that could all whoop Ben Askren's ass. All right. So we're gonna start with the main card. We're only gonna stick with the main card. First fight is Luis Pena. Violent Bob Ross is what he calls himself. If you don't know this guy, you should look him up. He looks just like Bob Ross. He's got the Jew fro going on. He's got a nice little beard. He's an exciting fighter. The dude is dynamic in so many good ways. He's going to be fighting Alexander Munoz. I'm going to go with Luis Pena. I'm a fan of his, obviously, and I just think he's got too many tools in the box. I think, you know, and he's been known to show heart. So I'm going to go with Luis Pena on that one. Next is Abdul Razak Al Hassan, my bad, versus Jacob Malkoun. Now, if you don't know who Abdul Razak Al Hassan is, it's because you probably seen him getting knocked out but didn't know who he was. He ended up fighting Joaquin Buckley in that viral knockout where he caught Joaquin's leg. Joaquin used that leverage to then do a spinning back kick to the fucking face and knocked him dead like a fucking tree. Woo, timber, man. He went down, but he's a badass fighter. And I was scoring that fight for him until that happened, obviously. So I'm gonna go with him. You know, who the fuck wants to fight again and lose? You know, I think he's gonna come in with a fucking fire underneath his ass, and I think they're probably gonna shoot for a rematch with Joaquin Buckley because Joaquin Buckley did just lose. So I'm gonna say they're probably gonna rematch and see what really happens, you know. But he's fighting Jacob Malkoun. Don't know much about him. Andre Oblasky is fighting Chase Sherman. This is Chase Sherman's second stint in the UFC. He was actually fighting for them a while back. I want to say like 2 years ago. He got cut. Obviously worked his way back into the picture. He's going to be fighting Andre Arlovsky, who is a known veteran who's been doing really good lately. He's been doing really good. Usually, I don't want to say usually because obviously he has an entire history of fights that he's been doing that he has done. But for a while there, I will say that for a while there, he was getting knocked out and pretty handedly by many fighters. But then he started working on his craft, started working on his positioning, make sure that when he got hit, he was in a good position to get hit because there are positions where you can get hit and there are positions where you do not want to get hit. He's been obviously been able to avoid getting knocked out as of late, but he's also not super aggressive as he used to be. He's winning fights on points now. He's outpointing people, outsmarting people, which is great. But heavyweight is such a hard division to do that in because you don't know what's going to happen. You have no idea what's going to happen. It's a heavyweight. It's like they got power. They got mad power. And how do I see this going? Look, Chase Sherman is back with a vengeance. Andre Arlovsky is coming off of actually a split decision loss that I thought he won. I'm going to go – fuck, this is a toss-up, man. I'm going – fuck, dude. You know what? I hate making these decisions because I always – not always, but I used to. I actually stopped doing it for the last fight predictions that I did. But I tend to go and lean towards the people that I want to win. I didn't do that with Luis Pena. I think he legitimately is going to win. And same with Abdul Razak Al Hassan, which is really hard to say. I also think he's going to win. I don't think Andre Arlovsky is going to win, but I am going to choose him. I'm going to go with Andre Arlovsky, and I think he outpoints him. And I think he, I don't know. I don't know what he calls out after that. You know, he's been around for so long. The co-main event of the evening is Jeremy Stephens versus Dracar Close. Dracar Close is an exciting fighter. So is Jeremy Stephens. Jeremy Stephens is an exciting knockout artist. So is Dracar Close. They're both fighters that are not afraid to test their mettle against one another. They're in it to win it. They're going to go and swing, and they're going to see who can take the most hits. They're going to see who can deal the most damage. They're going to see what happens. And I think because Jeremy Stephens is moving up in weight, he's a 145er, moved up to 155. He's getting up there in age. I think he's 36 years old. You know, I don't want to see Jeremy Stephens lose, man. I really don't. I really don't want to see him lose. But if I pick Jeremy Stephens, I'm picking the fighter that I want to win, and I'm not picking the fighter that I think is going to win. The fighter that I think is going to win is Dracar Close. So I'm going to go with Dracar Close on this one. I'm a huge fan of Jeremy Stephens. I think he's got mad knockout power at 145 or 55. Doesn't fucking matter. The dude's got hammers in his fucking fists. He can knock someone out cold. All he needs to do is touch him. But I just don't think it's going to happen because Dracar can do the same thing. Dracar is a 155er, which is weird because he's actually thinking about going down to 145. It depends. I don't think his decision on that really is banking on what happens in this fight, but I know for sure he's thinking about it. And I don't know, maybe they're around the same size. They look around the same size, but you know, it's different. You know, a 55er, 45er, they're 10 pounds away from each other, but it can be a huge difference. I want to say that Dracar Close is going to win, so I'm going to say that Dracar Close is going to win. I'm going to stick with that. I'm sticking with that. All right, so let's go to the main event of the evening. Kelvin Gastelum versus Robert Whitaker. This is a fight that has been 2, maybe 3 years in the making. I don't remember when it was booked, but it actually got canceled once. They went back and did it again, and then it got pulled from the fight the day of the fight. 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I forget which one. However long ago it was when they got booked for the fight. At the time, I thought Calvin Gaslin was going to win. I thought he was a more well-rounded fighter. I thought he had better power. I thought he was faster, had better eyes. Robert Whitaker, I feel like is a beast, but I felt like it was his time to lose. And I wasn't completely wrong. He did lose to Israel Adesanya. Now, granted, Israel Adesanya is on another fucking level. And ever since then, Robert Whitaker has not lost. He's beat everyone. He's beat Darren Till. He's beat the gorilla. What is it? It's funny because both of those fighters were named the gorilla. There's Darren the Gorilla Till, and then there was I forget his other opponent. But he's beat every opponent since then. He's beat them all handedly. The only person he had left to fight was the champion, but the champion went up and fought at 205. John Blachowicz lost the fight. Now he's coming back down, going back to claim his title and to show people why he's the 185-pound king. And I would not be surprised if the winner of this fight actually goes and fights for the title. Even though Kelvin Gastelum is on I think he's on in his last 4 fights, I think he's 3-1. I want to say he's 3-1 in the last 4 fights. Yeah, 3-1 in those last 4 fights. But it's Calvin Gaslin. He's the guy that pushed Israel Adesanya to the breaking point. Didn't get him there, but he was real fucking close. Robert Whitaker has won. If he wins this one, it's going to be 3 in a row. Ever since that fight, he definitely deserves a fight for the title. I think on clout alone, Kelvin Gastelum can fight for the title if he wins this. On workload alone, Robert Whitaker winning this fights for the title. So my official prediction, ever since then, Robert Whitaker has been super smart. He's been able to stay within his game plan. Israel Adesanya just brought it out of him. Kelvin Gastelum has lost 3 in a row. One of those, or not 3 in a row, I'm sorry. Before his last win, which is his last fight, he had lost 3 in a row. Israel Adesanya beat Kelvin Gastelum, and what was he getting at? I forget what my point was. Either way, Kelvin Gastelum is better, but I don't think he's as good as Robert Whitaker has gotten. I think Robert Whitaker has gotten better than Kelvin Gastelum, but at the same time, Robert Whitaker has been more wars than Kelvin Gastelum, you know, and you leave a piece of yourself in every time you get in the cage. So I want Kelvin Gastelum to win. I want him to win. But I want Robert Whitaker to fight for the title. So my official prediction is Kelvin Gastelum. That's 2 fighters that I've chose today that I did not believe. Like if I were to put money, I would not put money on Kelvin, and I would not put money on Andre Oblasky. But those are my official picks. All right, I'm going with Luis Pena, Abdul, Andre, Dracar, and Kelvin. Those are my 5 picks for tomorrow's fights. Now let's go to tonight's fights. And make sure if you're commenting to comment on my Mr. Hydration page. Don't go commenting on my Raul Contreras page. I cannot see the comments. If you want to interact in real time, comment on my Mr. Hydration page. Ooh, burp. All right. Let's see. So, oh shit, it's about to go down. If you guys don't know, Bellator is actually live right now as we speak. I could probably turn on my TV and start watching it. Maybe even do a live reaction. No, I'm just kidding. I got things to do tonight. All right. So anyway, let's start with Julia Budd. Julia Budd versus Diana Silva. I'm going to go with Diana Silva. I like Julia Budd. I think she's a badass. I think she's a beast. She lost. She was the 145-pound champion. She lost it to Chris Cyborg. I believe she's won every fight since. But Diana Silva, I'm going to go with an underdog in this one. So I'm going to go with Diana on that one. Paul Daley versus Sabah Hamasi. It's a 175-pound catchweight fight. I like Paul Daley, but this is his retirement fight. And usually if you're already thinking about retirement, chances are is you're not going to be in it all the way when you're in the fight. There's not many fighters that go into a fight that they call a retirement fight and walk away the victor. There's not many of them. There are some, but there's not many of them. And he's fighting Sabah Hamasi, who's no slouch. That dude is going in there to win it. I'm going to go with Paul Daley on this one because I think if anyone can walk away with a win on their retirement fight, it's Paul Daley. He's just such a monster. You know, I wish he wasn't retiring, but I mean, everyone's got to go at some point, right? Up next is Veda Artiego versus Desiree Yanez. I'm going to go with Desiree Yanez on that one. And then the co-main event, Corey Anderson asked for his release from the UFC. He got his release from the UFC, and now he's in Bellator, and he's fighting in the light heavyweight tournament. The first light heavyweight tournament fight card was last weekend. That was Ryan Bader versus Lyoto Machida. Ryan Bader won that one. Now it's Corey Anderson versus, man, I don't even know if all right, I'm going to give it a shot. Davlet Zan Yagshimuradov. I'm only saying it once. I'm going to call him Yagshi. Yeah. What a fucking name. That dude's got to be from Russia. You know what, Corey? We don't know much about Yag. We don't know much about the other guy. We know a lot about Corey Anderson. We know that he's gritty. We know that he's in there to win it. We know that he's got that push, that edge, the hunger to be a champion, especially coming into a whole nother organization. I mean, he should have had a title shot long before he decided to walk away from the UFC. But the UFC is it's so full of politics. It's so full of this and that and the other. You know, they tend to do a lot of, well, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't really go by the rankings all that much. They don't. They really don't. Corey Anderson should have had a fight with John Jones a long time ago. He never did. He never got the opportunity, and he should have, but he didn't. I think he takes this fight. I think he beats Yagshimuradov. I feel like that's not at all how you say that, but I think he beats him. And then the main card, the main fight tonight, Vadim Nemkov versus Phil Davis. Now, Vadim Nemkov is a champion. He beat Phil Davis. This is actually their second fight. He beat them the first time. He beat Ryan Bader to win the title. That was his last fight. And so now he's going on this. He's actually in the tournament, and he's defending his belt in the tournament. So I'm super excited to see what happens. Very, very excited to see Vadim Nemkov fight Phil Davis. Will Phil Davis make the adjustments that he needs to make? Will Vadim keep on dominating? Who knows what happens? I don't know, but I'm super excited to find out. And I'm glad I get to find out tonight. I don't have to wait tomorrow. You know, I don't have to wait. Like I have to wait for the Whitaker and Gaslin fight that is tomorrow. I don't have to wait to find out what happens between Ben and Jake Paul tomorrow. You know, I get to find that out today. I get to find that out today, and I'm super excited to find that out today. Very, very excited. So I'm going to go with, you know what, man? Here's the one thing about Phil Davis. Phil Davis has never been, I mean, he is in highlight reels, but he's not in many highlight reels. He doesn't get knocked out. He's never been finished. The dude lasts until the end of the fight. It may be a boring, long, drawn-out decision, but he doesn't get finished. But does he learn from his fights? Has he gone back in and won rematches? And can he win a rematch with someone as good, as decorated, as technical as Vadim Nemkov? Someone who knows how to beat Phil Davis. What happens? I'm going to go with Vadim Nemkov. That's my final prediction. Vadim Nemkov. Wherever the fuck he's from. That's somewhere in Russia, I believe. I could be wrong. Damn, these look like claws. I want to get one of them. Yeah, machine, yeah. I might do that. But yeah, I'm going to go with Vadim Nemkov on that one. I think Phil Davis has the ability and the physical attributes to be a very, very, very dominant champion. I just don't think he has the heart to do it. And I think Vadim Nemkov does. I think he's a very, 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 very well educated fighter. His fight IQ is amazing. I mean, he knows how to get in there and win. And I think he's going to do it tomorrow. I think he wins tomorrow. And I just realized I am not on Wi-Fi. That is not a good thing. I wonder if that stream was good, because I just juiced up a bunch of data doing that. Trying to do the mustache thing again. Yeah, I'm seeing here. Yeah. But those are my predictions for tonight's and tomorrow's fights. Next weekend is the Usman versus hold on, I'm sorry. Okay. Next week is the Usman versus Jorge Masvidal rematch. I cannot wait for that fight card. Weili Zhang is defending her title on that one, and so is Valentina Shevchenko. And that could be a beautiful, beautiful thing because say Weili wins in dominant fashion, and so does Shevchenko. If she wins in dominant fashion, you might get yourself a super fight. That might be the strawweight champion going up to fight the flyweight champion in women's MMA. And then say they fight and Shevchenko wins, then Shevchenko goes up and fights Amanda Nunes in the 135-pound division, champion versus champion again. She would be the first triple champion. But all that rides on both of them winning. All that rides on both of them having very dominant performances. And it also rides on Amanda Nunes not losing her title the next time she, which just got booked. That title defense should just get booked. Oh no. Don't you hate sneezing? I hate it. This hair is awesome. You know, I thought about cutting this off a couple months ago, but I'm glad I didn't. Look at this. Woo! Remember, if you're watching this on my page, make sure you comment on my Mr. Hydration page if you want me to see your comments in real time. Otherwise, I have to go back and check them out afterwards, which I don't really plan on doing because I don't like okay, so I'm pretty sure there's many of you out there that agree with me. There's a certain amount of energy that it takes to be on social media. You want to comment, you want to wait for a response, then you want to respond to the response of what you're saying, or you want to post something and then you want to check out the comments and you want to respond to those comments. You get lost in that amount of energy that I'm putting into social media. I've been directing towards my own life, my own personal life outside of social media, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. I tend to get lost in social media, and I'm sure many of you do too. I tend to direct all of my energies towards liking comments, seeing what the comments are, responding to comments, really just interacting with you guys. And sometimes that can take a toll on my time, especially the way that I choose to use my time, utilize my time. And lately, I've been really honing in my skills on. I wonder if it's plugged in. So I just bought this. Hopefully, I can get it over here. I don't want to get up. I got long arms. So check this out. I just got this bad boy. That is a looping machine. I can loop my guitar, I can loop my vocals, and I can create music on here. It stores everything. So I can create a song and like DJ my own shit whenever I want. It's got 100 song sound bank. I think I've written somewhere around 60 songs in my whole life. I mean, I've made up an insane amount of music. I made up thousands of songs that I just will never ever remember again that I thought were beautiful. But another thing that I got is this thing. If you don't know what it is, it's basically you use it to create beats. You use it to mix songs. You basically assign a certain sound to each one of those top buttons. One of these guys. Or even like a certain type of sound. Maybe you remix like a certain part of a song and you just stick it on this button. You know, if for an example, I would look up Metro Gnome. Metro Metro. Gnome is Gnome. And put in Lights. Metronome Lights. That dude kills it. He does a great remix of the song Lights by Ellie Goulding. And he uses one of these boards where you assign certain sounds to certain buttons and then you create remixes. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing now. You know, I've always wanted to DJ for real. I've been a DJ in terms of like creating the energy around a room or like a party. Because dude, I've been a musician like almost the entirety of my life. You know, growing up Mexican, it was all music, it was all dancing. So like I know the right songs to play in certain times, and I've been doing that. But I haven't really been creating my own beats. I've been creating remixes on the guitar, but I haven't really been creating my own beats. I haven't had the opportunity to do so. But because I went and bought that board, the launch keypad, and this guy, I can now do that. And that's what I've been working on lately. I've been working really, really hard on this. And I cannot wait to show it. So that was my predictions. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. This is Mr. Hydration Friday Fightcast. Also, I got one more sponsor. Remember, I don't get paid by these guys. I'm just putting them out there because I appreciate them. PFC, Peoria Fight Club. All right. Always go out and support Team 2 Strong. Team 2 Strong. Always go out and support them over at PFC, Peoria Fight Club. They're going out, they're representing Streeter and the surrounding areas, obviously. And people that aren't even from Streeter are coming out to train with them because they know this is where they can get the real training. This is where they can come in and learn for real how to get in there, defend yourself, and finish your opponent. So, Team 2 Strong, Peoria Fight Club. Make sure you check them out. And that's it. That's it for me. Get out of my face, man. I'm done. All right, get out of here. Oh, yeah, one more thing. Stay hydrated, motherfucker.